Hi there, and welcome to the Inner Circle Presents with BAO and Victoria Beckham. I'm George, and I'm joined today by Kate, Head of Ecommerce at Victoria Beckham.
Hello there. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. How are you doing today?
Very good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I
delighted.
actually invited myself, probably.
Well, no, never. No, absolute pleasure to have you with us. We obviously go way back.
We do.
yeah,
We've been working some time with you guys now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it goes back to, when would it have been? Just post-COVID, I think.
It was.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, nice. But yeah, thank you for joining us today
Thank
and entertaining us whilst we have a bit of a chat about some of the great things that you guys have been up to. But before we get into that, I thought it'd be nice for everyone to learn a bit more about Kate.
Sure.
So yeah, how did you get into ecom?
A long time ago. I mean, you can tell from the wrinkles. No, I would say I started probably from a kind of photo shoot photography point of view. I did fall into it in some ways and started kind of, as I said, just understanding how imagery and content works and how styling elements worked. And then kind of got into it properly through Mulberry, which was a fantastic opportunity for us there for about 5.5 years. Really understood how the basics of e-commerce works. Was lucky enough to then move over to Alexander McQueen. Was there for 4.5 years, putting in processes and working for a luxury house, but also part of a kind of bigger organisation such as Caring.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been at Victoria Beckham for about 7 years now.
Wow.
So yeah. That's my story, basically.
Heavy hitter after heavy hitter there.
Thanks so much.
Nice. Oh, I don't think I ever knew that about the photography. So was that your main passion to do what you're into things?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was one of those things where I sort of decided that I wanted to be a stylist. I always have these great visions of what that's going to look like. And the reality is it's a lot of hard work. And, I think I started in PR and I was terrible at it.
Okay.
And then I was like, maybe I can do something a bit more creative.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of where the entry came from. And as I said, back when I first started, e-commerce was still not a huge topic. Nobody really understood. And I came from like a degree where we had old school computers, the old traditional ones with the massive backs on Apple Macs and things. So yeah. I'm that old. Can you believe it?
No.
So yeah. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Cool. And then, so fast forward, I guess, to the present day, what does your role look like at Victoria?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're not taking photos. So.
No. Well, funny enough, we did have we were looking at photography at Victoria Beckham. I guess what I mainly focus on today is trading the websites with my team.
Mm-hmm.
It's an operational piece as well. There's user experience, working obviously with you guys from a roadmap perspective, and everything that falls under e-commerce in terms of like marketplaces that might come up and what AI means. And, it's one of those things in e-commerce where it's just like, oh, the e-commerce will do it, the e-commerce will do it. But I think it's, we've got quite a small team, but we're all kind of interconnected. So we work really close to the digital marketing guys and client services and, so that's kind of how it all functions day to day.
So you've been there 5 years?
No, 7 years.
7 years, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much have you seen big change in the time that you've been there?
Absolutely. It changes every year. And we've had a really great couple of years, obviously seen some growth and had some real positive feedback from obviously the documentaries, David's and then Victoria's last year. But we've really worked hard on building a foundation on site and really working on that user experience. I mean, we're not perfect. Obviously, it's never finished product, but essentially, we want to understand the friction points and how we can help make the journey as easy as possible. But also, the product it gets better and better every single year. We have some fantastic people that work in our business, so it helps.
Great. Yeah. Oh, I imagine, brands like that, you've got the A team there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, the documentary is a really interesting thing. I loved how you guys created that T-shirt product.
Yeah.
I thought
Netflix.
That was such a great reactive
Well, the
moment.
Rolls Royce with David. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was really great. And like T-shirts isn't massively a big part of our business anymore, but I think, Victoria has a real sense of humour and it was definitely a great catchphrase for us. So
100%. I mean, it was a brilliant part of the documentary.
Right.
It was such a human moment to see that behind the curtain.
Yeah, and that's what the brand, tries to represent as well. A bit of humidity and are kind of still approachable, I guess.
I think that's something we talked a lot about when we first started working with you, is
Mhm.
about how to get Victoria more involved across the site, I guess.
Yes.
Not from the point of view of she should be trading the website herself.
Yeah, she's there every day, like loading things on Shopify, I tell you. Yeah,
Love Shopify. But yeah, I guess more like from a storytelling perspective, there was some really nice like pull out quotes and things like that,
Mm.
and imagery that was used across the site, but
Mhm.
it was incorporating more of that.
Mm.
And I think there's been some, really nice features like that. I mean, that product example is one.
Mm.
I think I was telling you before, one of the things I love most is that as worn by
Mm.
Victoria section.
Yeah.
What was the brain
Do you
wave
know,
behind that idea?
I think what we decided was that we wanted to make it as easy as possible for customers to find what Victoria is wearing. Ultimately, she's a style icon, and we wanted customers to be able to identify, how she's styling it, what she's wearing. So it was a really simple idea. We were basically like, let's create a destination or landing page for you to actually find what she's wearing and where she's wearing it. There is always a fascination with the family, and the what she's wearing is also a part of that too. So it's been really successful for us. I think we launched it in 2024 actually, and it's obviously grown. It's more relevant and easy, as I said. You're not spending hours trying to identify finding it on the site or searching for it. All of those things. There's a destination for those outfits. So
Absolutely. I really like it's not like professional photography of
no,
her.
no.
I think it allows the audience and people who are, in lots of ways, it's funny because most brands we talk about customers. I think with you guys, a lot it's fans as much as it is
Yeah,
customer.
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it lifts the lid on her and her life, I think.
I think
in a
so.
way
Just a
that's really
small sneak,
yeah.
to understand. And I guess one of the things we've spent a lot of kind of, some time on is the community element of it. You can kind of see, of course, there's other avenues that you can find out what she's doing, but how can we bring that into our website so it's not in your face, but ultimately it's still an element of her.
Yeah, for sure. I find it really fascinating when you've got, you know, brands like yours where there are some celebrity backed brands, I won't name names,
Hmm.
where you feel like it isn't inherently a
Mm,
part of who they are as a person. If
yeah.
it's a way of being able to generate more sales behind a business
Hmm.
by attaching a celebrity to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
In this case, and as her documentary
Hmm.
really showed, she's really got a passion
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess with Victoria being such a mainstream figure, those documentaries and things really have helped
Hmm.
with the
Of course.
brand. I'm sure there's benefits to the fact that you've got this celebrity attached to it that can help drive traffic to the website and drive
Absolutely.
interest and curiosity.
Hmm.
But I'm curious how you leverage that in a way that's useful. And then are there kind of any hurdles that actually you've got to overcome because you've got such, this attached to it,
Yeah,
basically?
it's a really good question actually, because people are interested in Victoria, and people are fans, as you mentioned, and they are Spice Girl fans. So it's about having the right traffic come to the website. So essentially, that we see people that are essentially there just to kind of understand a little bit more about Victoria, but they're not necessarily intending to purchase. So conversion is one of those elements that obviously we have to tackle
Mm,
from a KPI perspective. And so it's getting the right traffic, getting the right intent, but also, I guess, it's a balance. What we don't want to do is have Victoria plastered all over the website.
yep.
Yes, it's her name above the door and it's her brand, but ultimately it's about the narrative and the aesthetic and what she's trying to create and what she's empowering, how she's empowering women in her designs. So it's a real fine line and a real balance for that specifically.
That struck me from day one working with you guys was, I mean, if you Google Victoria Beckham,
Mm.
the fashion site is the first thing
Yes,
that comes up,
absolutely. Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
But then equally, people, what's the intent behind someone Googling her
Well,
name?
that's it.
Is it, to buy a dress
Yeah.
like that is, you know, such a luxury
Mhm.
item that it probably is out of reach of
Mm.
most
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I guess it's an interesting one from that perspective because I feel like measuring those sorts of everyday
Mm.
things for you guys is slightly different.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just also identifying the fact that we're looking at the funnel, and can we have other product that aside from dresses, so can we can we entice you in with a belt?
Yeah.
One of our B-buckle frame belts. Can we get you in with jewelry? We're investing a lot of time, energy into our shoe range, our handbags. So it's also educating the customer that obviously, yes, we do ready to wear, and it's a big part of a business, but there are obviously other collections or product that we also have on our site.
Yeah. That's something I've always been curious about with you guys, and I think you've always found a really nice balance between. But I guess it's, to that idea of, can you get someone purchasing and thinking about other product? That space between form and function is something we talk about quite a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And you've got a very strong design aesthetic that is, for minimal, and it's about using space in the correct way, but equally, you've got commercial targets that you need to hit. There needs to be a customer journey that flows and guides people through the website. How do you guys find a balance between that? Is there lots of internal debate around it? Is there anything that takes precedence? Does the aesthetic win out constantly?
I think there, as I mentioned earlier, there always has to be the balance.
Yeah.
We want to represent her vision for the business and the brand. We want to, as I said, there's an education piece there. So I think there is always some conversations, not debates, conversations about what's correct and right for the brand.
Sure.
I would say that as a digital department, we have to find a balance between commercial and brand, and that's relevant and correct with most businesses. And that's probably even more so when you have a founder such as Victoria as well. But I think it's about trying as well. Yes, we're going to be data led, but for me, the user experience is really important, and the aesthetic and understanding the brand, and every touch point that you go through the site, do you get it? Does it feel Victoria? Is it clean? Is it representing everything that we want it to be? So I think it's just a discussion point in the business. I think we've got into a point of view of where we want to try and test and learn. And I think that's what we've seen the last couple of years. And hopefully that's why we've seen the success, or some of the success we have, actually.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. I think when we first started together, there was the site, it always looked like the branding and everything always felt great. I think one of the things we looked at was quite a bit of data, which, was kind of looking at where the valuable journeys were. And then not wanting to take away from that brand experience, but can we sprinkle some of this kind of, good e-com practice,
absolutely,
I guess, into that process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But also, some of what we do is not following what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
I think I always want to break the norm with what other luxury players are doing.
Yeah.
Have those uncomfortable conversations, right? And we have brought some great partners in to test and try some of this new functionality, because if it's luxury don't do that. Well, actually, no. Could we?
Why? Why not?
Let's not be scared by it. Let's just see, because actually we don't know until we've tried. And it might not be right, and as long as we don't damage the brand, that has to be one of the main objectives. But let's see from what data says as well.
Definitely. Data can only be there from a decision you've made, though.
Yes.
So to your point, like if you're trying
That's
stuff,
it's
you've got to be brave and bold. It's definitely I've always admired that about the way that you guys operate. Is it feels like, and I imagine it must be the case with regular site visitors, that they come on and it feels like there's something new for them there.
And it's like anything, nothing's ever finished. So, I a lot of what I do sometimes based on instinct, trust the gut, which isn't scientific, but I think is a feeling. Is it right for the business, and should we test it? And to your point, the data doesn't exist, so it is a kind of try to see.
Absolutely. I think the way that you time bringing in new technology is great.
Thank you.
I think that attitude of nothing's ever finished it will serve anyone well, I think, in this industry.
Yeah.
We're at a point with so many different technologies where you could try and wait till something's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's talking about AI at the moment. And what is the perfect use case for that? I think we're still waiting to see.
Yeah.
And you could get through that through, conversational commerce is the thing that I think a lot of people are looking at the minute.
Absolutely.
But equally, I think, one of the things I'm really enjoying at the moment is this try-on
virtual try-on
that you've got going on at the moment.
Yeah. One of our new partners with DressX, yeah.
How did that come about?
It's a really interesting one, actually. They reached out, and there's various people that are trying it. And I guess one of the things I was potentially trying to solve with something like that is, let's bring it to life. You can see a model wearing the outfit, but the reality is, how do you actually know what you're going to look like? And I think the fact that you can obviously upload yourself into a product, or you upload basically your face into an AI model and put in your height measurements, it brings it to life. So I think that was, 'cause some people might say it's a bit gimmicky or it's not there yet, but there's a few things I'm trying to solve with that is, have a look at physically what you look like in this garment. And then also, can it can it work on our returns rates? Can it help support that element as well? So I think it's early days, really early days with it. But I think, what we're seeing is about 5 outfits are tried on per user in one session. So there is definitely an interest in that at the moment from what we see.
That's such a great amount of usage.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. How many times do we spend looking at purchase funnels?
Yeah.
And if we could sit down and create journeys where we said people are going to look at 5 different products in their session.
Right.
And I think it's a fun way of doing something.
Yes.
That is, I think it's missing in a bit of ecom, truthfully, in recent times. I think there's been a lot of, conversion rate focus, which is naturally important. We're all not here if we don't get conversion.
No,
right?
of course.
But part of that, I think, is an intangible keeping people on the site, and making people want to come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And part of that there has to be some intrinsic value. And I think a playful touch point like that, alongside something that actually behind the scenes, like impacting your returns rate, is just got to be a win.
I think so.
Win-win, yeah.
As I said, I know it's still early, so we still have to understand what it's actually doing for us. But
sure.
It has shown some positive results so far, and it is fun. As I said, yes, the brand is so important and it's so key and it's centralized to everything. But let's try and bring an experience that isn't just that we're going to thrust a PLP at you and you just have to try and work your way through the checkout process. It's more, can I understand how maybe I'm put off by the model slightly. So let me actually see what I look like. That's the whole point of it.
Well, and it's creating that the thing that everybody's been looking for such a long time, which is the offline experience online.
Absolutely.
We once built it was a feature for an eyewear brand.
Oh, okay,
which was like a try-on feature. And I can't remember more fun around the office than everyone queuing up to try on different glasses and see what
Did anyone actually buy any though? That was the question.
I think so.
Okay.
Well, in the office, certainly lots of people ended up buying them. But I think there was a quiz feature where it was like, what pair of glasses are you as well? So it was like a fun, interactive experience that then... I think, people played with it, basically, which then keeps people on the site and then hopefully in turn...
Well, this is what I was saying, everything is so serious. And of course, yes, we have targets we need to hit, right? Our KPIs are really important.
Yes.
But if you can do that in a way that just brings something a bit more to life...
Well, yeah, I think brand is about personality.
Yes.
Everything needs to feel premium.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be at the expense of personality.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think that's great. And then so you brought up returns rate, going back to serious KPIs.
Yeah. Do we have to?
Not forever, I promise. But yeah, that was something I feel like was one of the things we first sat down and talked about. And yeah, what kind of experiences have you learned that you've been able to apply? So obviously the try-on's one.
Yeah.
But what other kind of features have you introduced recently? What kind of successes have you seen?
Yeah, I think so. There's a few things we've looked at. We dabbled or still working with a partner on the size and fit tool, and obviously being able to input all of your measurements to understand if it can spit out the right item for you. And then we are also just trying to give more measurements and insights to the customer. So rather than a generic size chart, we'll give you specific measurements for your garment. And so they're two small things. We're also just trying to identify the fact that actually, if we look at our returns data, did this, what was the percentage of people that actually returned it, if it was too big, too small, or too long, whatever it be, and how can we then feed that onto the site to give a kind of an informed view of other people, rather, because I think there's sort of sense there as well of that, do I believe the brand or am I going to believe other people's experiences as well? Actual quantitative data from people that have already tried it on, rather than the brand specifically saying you need to go down or up a size or down a size.
Yeah, which is, great for product teams, right? To have that information, but then also to surface that back to the consumer, to then inform the next purchasing decision.
Absolutely. But it's not like there's no fix. You're never going to be in a place where you can just say, it's fixed, because there's so many different body types for women. Completely. But I think there's lots of things that we can still do, and we are still looking at.
Yeah.
And also, we're still looking at our product as well,
If you could snap your fingers and get rid of returns.
Oh, yeah. That'd be one of the first ones to go. Keep it all, please. Don't deliver anything. Don't turn anything.
Yeah. We have a strictly no return policy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think you guys have been very proactive, I think, in your approach there. I think looking at it on a category-led level as well has been really good. And I think the other such simple touch pointers, which is like showcasing how the model is wearing it.
Of course.
One of the things that I remember being a standout from a conversation we had a while back around was tackling denim specifically.
Yes.
And how actually one of the things that hadn't really been communicated was that the jeans had been made to wear with heels.
Yes.
And without that information, obviously the consumer, might well pick a completely different size based on that. So I think it's really important to look at it on a collection based level.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I think even small touches, like you said, those customized sizing charts is to the product is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the subject, I guess, of new technologies, what other tools have you been working with recently that you've got a lot of value out of?
Yeah, so again, it's not something that is unique to us, but we have worked with a partner for an AI chatbot. And I guess the intention of working with those guys was to also see if we could advertise to the customer how you can style the item through a chatbot.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking for? And then the chatbot will continue to kind of offer other alternative ways to wear, which is pretty cool, actually.
I love that feature on the PDP where if you
that
start on the homepage and you've just got the widget that comes up, which is, there if you need it, fine, fair enough. But then it comes to life when you come onto that product page and it is like an in-store experience.
Yeah.
How can I help you today?
Yeah.
I think it's such a nice nod for the consumer to help push them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
I guess. But without being pushy or overbearing.
Well, that's it. Trying to find a balance so it's not too intrusive. So it's like, at what point do you do it in the journey? What is it that you might want to know? We know that obviously customers want a bit more information about the product specifically, to feel really confident about what they're purchasing and understand it. So obviously, yes, we need to put that data into the site and for it to scrape it and identify it. But obviously, making it really easy and accessible for a customer to see that and find that information. I think that's what's really great about that particular
definitely
part.
And not overwhelming.
No,
we're all getting cookie banners.
Yes.
We're getting 10% off if you sign up to the email.
Well, we're doing that too.
Yeah.
That's still there.
That's what I mean. But I think it would be really tempting to layer it earlier on in the journey.
Yeah.
And push it on. But I think the fact it comes in when you're at that product page, I think sort of it's just it's subtle. Is I guess my point.
No,
It's
absolutely.
Not
and as I said, we're still working on that as well, because there are probably still elements that are not necessarily fighting each other, but there's some elements that need to be there from a cookies perspective.
Sure.
Obviously, we want people to sign up to our database, but what are you looking for as well?
Yeah.
And where you're here today, all of that has to happen at the right time. So yeah, I would say that we've seen some really positive results from it being on the PDP specifically.
I think the other one that I've really loved the way that you guys incorporate video across the site.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so we actually partner with Bambuser. They're great guys, great team. And they're just moving things forward so fast. We have really great content, and it kind of made sense that actually if you can place it on PLPs or on the homepage, why wouldn't you? Because actually you can understand what the results are, you can monetize it.
Yep.
And again, you can essentially have Victoria in a Bambuser video with the product down the right-hand side. And by the way, this is what she's wearing. And everyone knows that video is so key and so important. And so Bambuser offer a fantastic platform where essentially we can upload, it's a really fantastic wireframe, but it also has such great data insights for us to understand how it's working. But obviously the content, that what we put in is going to be key and is engaging. So as I said, they're moving forward really quickly. So they're sort of layering in other things almost daily, weekly. And so we're always trialing things with those guys.
Yeah. I think the way that you can then communicate and tag product connected to that is such an organic route forward, because we're all consumed by video.
Absolutely.
And, long gone, thankfully, are the days of the buffering nightmare.
It's like dial-up days, isn't it?
Absolutely. To be able to host video like that, I think is great. And then to point people in the direction of the product, should they then engage with it.
Absolutely.
Doesn't feel too forceful, and it feels it feels premium and luxury, right?
Yeah, I think it's natural, and again, it tells more of a narrative sometimes. Even, you can really grasp the aesthetic of a dress just from movement, or a narrative of a model who's wearing a garment or an outfit. It just not feeds you more, but it can tell you more.
Yeah.
Obviously imagery is as important, but having hand in hand, both of them is key.
100%. Yeah. I think photos can get you so far with the details, and there's sections. I know you've got new sections we were talking about before added onto the PDPs that highlight unique elements of the product.
Yeah.
Brilliant way of highlighting that to people. But ordinarily, if you've just got a gallery, people might not focus in so much on those. But I think the video really
lifts
really
it, I think. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And we've been with those guys for a couple of years now, so it's a good partnership.
The other one that I've been so impressed with, I think it's the first. I think you guys are the first we've seen working with it as well.
Oh, great. Even better.
Yeah, absolutely. No, honestly, the way you guys work with new tech and adopt it, I think is great.
Oh, great. Thank you.
But it's to do with the styling on the PDP.
Yeah, our styling grids.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That was something when we first started. It was a very manual task for you guys.
Really manual. Yeah. Gosh.
And it was a section, I think, with the best will in the world, you'd be happy with me saying this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't we'll the most interactive.
No. I can hear the people in head office now going, you can't have it like that. And I was like, yeah, so that's just how we want it. No, it was I was fixated on a slight look and feel. But you're right. You did the best for what I was asking for. Thank you. Yeah. No. We were again trying to explain to the customer that if you buy this top, you can wear it with these trousers, and we have styled it in a look that we want to show you. But here's alternative ways that you can wear it in a completely different way, and then feed in handbags and accessories and layering in different items. And you know what, if you still need a bit of time to think about that garment, then maybe you want a belt, because the belt goes with this outfit too, and then you've got another outfit at home that you wear the belt with. It's all of those elements. It's sure, we want you to buy more than one item, but ultimately it's also about is there other items? You know, if you have a shirt from Victoria Beckham, is there something else that you could wear in your wardrobe with that? Or, you know, I just want the whole look. Actually, I'm just going to buy all of this look. So it's giving options.
I think no matter who it is, everybody appreciates like styling input.
Yeah, absolutely. God, absolutely.
And I think it's for it to be curated in the way that it is, but without it having to be the manual task.
Yes.
It's such a win.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I think that's been a really great success for you guys.
I blocked it out, that pain and sweat and blood and tears.
I
can't remember it.
No. But then also, I guess to your point before of wanting to showcase more of the range.
Yes.
With so many people now, you know, starting their journeys on the product page. You know, I think some people still think of it in the old way of people start their journey on the homepage and they go to a PLP. But, you know, more and more with the marketing methods that we've got in place, people are starting on the product page.
Absolutely.
And yeah, you probably do have a head start over lots of the brands because people know the name Victoria Beckham, but they might not know that you do a belt.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think any organic way to flow that content in as well.
Yeah, for sure. And we have seen since we worked with our guys on our partner with that, UPT is really strong for us. So as I said, we are trying to sell a look, but there's nothing to say that, you know, oh gosh, there's a bag. There's a great bag there. You know, to your point that you said earlier, it continues the journey on. We're going to keep you there for as long as possible. And some of the purchases might be considered purchases. We might see you again. You know, you might go away and you need to think about it. But let's make sure you're as informed as possible and have as many options. And as I said, styling elements and all of those things in one go, so that actually, you know, if you need to come back and then make a purchase, that's great too.
One of the things I was really curious to talk to you about was, I guess it's the direction of travel for ecom going forwards. We're starting to see with Shopify moving towards these new accounts.
Yeah.
You guys obviously were naturally very early adopters to that. I think you were the first brand we worked with.
Oh, wow. Well done us.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious about like how you see the direction of travel with personalized journeys coming forwards. So we're seeing more and more owning that data is so important. How are you guys like preparing for the ability to try and drive more and more personalized journeys across the website?
I think one of the things we're doing is really looking and spending more time identifying our customers, our personas of our customers. And then with that data and that insight, obviously offering them a slightly different experience across the site. So what do we know about you? But not in a kind of overbearing, slightly Big Brother style, more of a, we know that you like this, or we know that you're interested in this, and perhaps we can show you this. And there's so much more we can do as well with, you know, the virtual try on and being able to keep some of those elements in your account section so that when you come back, if you come back, please come back, you know, we can show you can take off from where you were before. So, but honestly, we're still learning about it. I think we're still learning about what's possible. You know, Shopify always releasing new features, functionalities, and we're still always trying to get to grips with what those look like and are they relevant for us as a business. And I know we talked earlier about, you know, where it's going, and actually the fact that now Shopify, you know, the data that you can have on your customer and the insight that you can have on your customer to be able to serve them better basically is going to be really valuable for us.
100%. I think what we're starting to see with Shopify is more native functionality pointing you towards this. That then hopefully will lean in with your tech stack. Right?
Sure.
So the consumers logged in, got a better understanding already of what product they've browsed before. Therefore, let's put this in front of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was one of the smallest announcements in Edition that if you blinked, you missed it. Was Sidekick's ability to start creating customer segments. But not only that, to create segments based on purchasing behavior, which I think you're starting to see the direction of travel for where we're going to be able to go natively, which I think is so fascinating.
And powerful.
Personalization's been a topic for so long. But the reality of it has been quite out of reach, I think. If you're like you mentioned, you're a small team. it's hard enough merchandising and trading a website, thinking about the one core audience, let alone the fact that actually, what about that little user over there and those groups and those?
Yeah.
Whereas if you can start to build that in a way that isn't like creating lots of tech debt, isn't creating headache and admin for management teams of the site going forward. I think it's a really exciting.
We'll embrace it, right? We're always curious about how we can what we can do next, and definitely is something on our roadmap for sure.
Definitely, I think it's just something the consumer is really comfortable with now.
Yeah.
When you said before about it being creepy, it was reminding me of back in the day when people first started doing abandoned browse emails. It was like, we know you've been looking at this product, which I always thought was the creepiest thing ever.
But it did work for me because I still ended up buying it.
Fair, yeah.
So I was like, it was creepy, but it did actually always make me really broke.
Helpful. But yeah, I think, it's part of every digital interaction people have nowadays.
Yeah.
We had a client do a customer survey recently, and one of the things that came out of it was so fascinating was people just wanted more and more relevancy brought to their experience.
Yeah.
People were coming up with ideas in that survey of, curated collections to them based on them and things like that have then, worked their way into the roadmap of, and I think it's, people finish work at the end of the day, they go onto Netflix.
Yeah.
Everything's tailored to you.
Yeah.
YouTube's the same, Spotify, wherever you get any of your media content. And I think when there is so much browsing, if you can reduce that fatigue,
absolutely,
and put the right thing in front of people.
Yeah, people are busy, right? And there's so many sites or whatever it be that are trying to grab your attention. If we are lucky enough for you to come to us, then let's give you an edit. Let's give you an edited version of something so that actually you don't have to do all the hard work.
No.
We might know a little bit about you, so we've curated it for you.
Yes.
So that's definitely something that we will spend more time on this year for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you got the head start on the fact that you've got so many more people who've created accounts.
Yes,
because of these new
absolutely.
Accounts. And then now with social logins and shop pay logins, I think it's going to just change for people overnight.
Yeah,
so super
looking forward to that.
One of the other areas that we've worked on the site quite a lot, and around the technology, is the search experience on site. And when we first started working together, I think we really identified the fact that the user that was interacting with it was 220% more likely to make a purchase. Not only that, they were spending more than the users, and it became a clear, I guess, focus for us to start thinking about that search experience.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about the site now is the way imagery is used within that section. How much control do you guys have over that? How much are you thinking about search as a tool, I guess, for your consumer?
Yeah, we are thinking about it a lot, amongst other things, obviously. The situation is that we want, you're looking for something, show you what you're looking for. Do you know what I mean? Let's not make this really difficult.
Yeah.
You've already got an intention there. So essentially trying to make that an easy experience for you. I think it can go a few places. There are a lot more things. Everyone's talking about voice search and all of these things and where it can go. How do you incorporate more AI into search? All of those elements, which we are obviously looking into as well and identifying what that means. It's conversational, right? It's going to become conversational. It's no longer that you're just looking for a green dress. You are looking for a green dress to wear to your sister's wedding, which is going to be in July and it's going to be hot. And it's all of those things.
Yeah.
It's almost an in-store experience again that you're going to have online. So the data, as I understand it, is going to be key in terms of what you're actually feeding the search in the first place. What have you actually, all of your meta objects and metadata, what are you doing with that to power that? But it's still an ongoing, again, it's like everything, it's not finished.
No.
And we're still learning about where it's going and what the possibilities are with it as well, to be honest.
I feel we've got to a point with it now, this conversational commerce, where the shape is starting to form.
Yes.
Before probably greater visionaries than I were talking about AI years ago, changing, saying it was going to change the way we shop, the way consumers behaved, that seemed very conceptual.
Yeah.
And we're now at a point where we're starting to see a few sites. One of the examples that lots of our clients have been referencing recently is this Bruno Cucinelli example of the kind of AI boutique, which I think is the closest example to something that is an interesting customer journey.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think people think of it, and I like the way they've done it because it isn't search orientated.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think search is clinical.
Yes.
You want a green dress.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be people that just want to look at green dresses and they can get through that very quickly.
Yeah.
However, if you're less certain or you enjoy the browsing experience, because let's face it, lots of people, part of the joy that comes from buying a product that you're going to fall in love with is the choice. It's taking your time over that. And I do think there's going to be a place for it, but I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, with it. Absolutely. But it has to be at the right time. I think all of this stuff has to be, just because everyone's, AI is the thing everyone's talking about, and it's at the right time and at the right point of the journey.
Yeah.
And if it's right for our customers as well, or our new customers.
Yeah. There are definitely people that are getting very excited about it still, which is great.
Yeah.
And they'll be the ones that help.
Is it you?
Shape the future.
Is it only you?
It's me.
Have you got a club?
I have an AI club.
I knew it.
Yeah. No, I think we are really excited about it.
Yeah.
I think anyone that tells you exactly how many people are going to start using it and how much value it's going to be and how the internet is going to change doesn't have a crystal ball.
Yeah, of course.
We don't even know what the limit of the technology is even
Yeah.
yet.
Well, and it's changing, right? So it's an obvious thing to say, but 6 months ago, everything that involves AI is extremely different now.
But I think the technology curve is going to be very interesting. I don't think we know where we're at yet. And I think it will be dictated by the consumer as well.
For sure.
I think one thing we can always get quite obsessed with is because we are technologically focused, we're looking at these going, isn't that impressive? But if people don't end up using it, it's going to be...
then it's just for us.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think, it'll be dictated somewhat by the technology and the consumer.
I agree.
I wanted to change things up.
Yeah, great.
And just ask you a few quick fire questions.
Sure. I get a buzzer ready.
Get the buzzer in, yeah.
This is always what I wanted to do.
What is your favourite Victoria Beckham product?
Probably can't name one product, but we do have really great leather goods. And there's a fantastic bag called the Victoria Tote, obviously named after Victoria. And it's really, really, really chic, really beautiful leathers that we offer it in. And there's some really beautiful suede as well. But perfect sizing, really great if you're taking it to work, but obviously it can work if you're, not at work and you're going out in the evening. So that's a really great handbag that we offer. And then our denim is fantastic as well. Our leaner jeans that obviously are well known through the documentary that Victoria had. Great shape, great fit. So denim, bags, and then obviously some of our dresses. We've got some real good iconics that we've had for some time, and then there's some really great new dresses coming through as well, our gather waist dresses.
Amazing. I'll let you have the three then.
Thanks so much. Thanks. I mean, I was like, don't cut me on that one, will you?
Bit more econ related.
Yes.
If you could drop one metric tomorrow.
Conversion rate.
Bring me to it.
No, probably one again. Why is it only one?
Yeah.
No, conversion rate, returns rate. Like you said, if we could just wipe out people returning because everything fit and everything was perfect, that would be amazing. But they're just challenging, and then I don't know anyone who doesn't find them challenging, whatever business you're in, right?
No. Perishable goods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair. Great. Well, Kate, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I've just got one last thing I'd like to finish on today.
Yes, of course.
What in 2026 are you most looking forward to in the year ahead?
Yeah, I guess where we are currently, we are, as I said at the beginning, trialing and erroring a lot of new functionality and technology. So I'm really excited to see what continues to progress with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the buzzword, but where else? What does it look like in another 6 months, basically?
Yeah.
We are, as I mentioned earlier, doing a lot with our customer and understanding the journeys that our customers are taking. And so I guess getting to know our customers better and offering them a really seamless, polished experience. So there is so much on the horizon. There's so much more we can do. And I said, nothing's ever finished. There's still some things that we need to definitely focus on. But just opportunity on, how far we can push our site.
Amazing. Well, Kate, it's been an absolute privilege.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming down and sharing so much wisdom and
no worries.
experience.
I hope there's some wisdom in there. No, amazing. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
Amazing.
Cheers.
Cool. Great.
If you've enjoyed listening today and you want to learn more, head over to byassociationonly.com and join the inner circle. Thanks.